remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Hussainis and the Zainabis of today.
Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein. What is left in us besides this great love? And our hearts beat, Ya Hussein. Every beat of my heart, Ya Hussein. Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters and dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV 3, and welcome to the I Am Husseini show live from the Holy Land of Karbala. It's been an amazing 2 nights that we've had here in the studios, and inshallah you join us for an absolutely amazing 3rd night of ziyarah, dua, supplication, tears, crying, everything you can think of. Tonight, as all night, I'll be joined by my dear brother Abu Talib, who will be writing the names of all of you who are calling and taking even the names of your marhumeen, so that you can, inshallah, have a ziyarah, because this flag will be taken to the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam at the end of the 10 nights.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and thank you, Brother Minhal, for having me on the show. It is our honor and our duty to fulfill the needs of all our brothers and sisters that are followers and lovers of Imam Hussein. Brothers and sisters, as Minhal has said, it is an opportunity. It is the 3rd night of Muharram al-Haram, and it's an opportunity for you to call and be just like the companions of Imam Hussein. Today it's the night of Zuhair, and let us follow the footsteps of Zuhair.
As my brother Abu Talib mentioned, tonight is the night of Zuhair ibn al-Qaym. For our dear viewers who haven't joined us for the past 2 nights, we have been going according to the Urdu schedule, and what an amazing schedule it has been. Zuhair ibn al-Qaym, and wama adraka ma Zuhair ibn al-Qaym. The man who unsuspectingly, he didn't know that he was about to embark on this journey of bravery, jihad, this journey of sacrifice for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He did not know that he was about to face one of the toughest decisions of his life. And that is, do I fight with Hussein, or do I continue towards Kufa? Do I stay, or do I carry on? Many of the companions of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam had a similar decision to make. We discussed Hur last night. He had a choice. Do I stick with Hussein, or do I stick with the army of Umar bin Sa'd? Abu Talib.
I read a poem about Zuhair. But Zuhair, he's a poet himself. It says, in the sand of history, a tale unfolds of a noble soul whose courage was untold. Zuhair, son of Qayn, a name revered, a poet, a warrior, with a heart unfeared. In the realm of Karbala, where sorrow ran deep, he stood by Hussein.
Allah.
Amidst grief steep, a loyal companion, with words profound, his spirit a beacon, in darkness found, with verses like swords. His poetry soared in defense of truth.
Allah.
His eloquence roared. He pledged his allegiance to the just Imam, a bond that nothing could ever damn.
Allah. Allah. And who was the poet, my dear brother?
This was by brother Mustafa Ahmadi, sent
MashaAllah.
to us. For those that have poems and would like us to recite in the next coming nights, our numbers are available and provided for you to be present and show your allegiance to Imam al-Hussein by sending your poetry over to us by the WhatsApp provided numbers.
As you can see on your screens, my dear brothers and sisters, you can see a split screen of myself and Abu Talib, but you can also see a live feed from the holy land of Najaf. Najaf al-Ashraf. Salamullahi alayka ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. You can only describe the land of Najaf with bravery. It was with this man who lays in the grave that injustice started with. This man who many betrayed, many stood against. The likes of Zuhair would have heard of this man. They would have been inspired by him. Habib, Zuhair, they were probably all inspired by Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. But someone like Zuhair, who on the day of Ashura, the enemies confronted him and they would say to Zuhair, "Oh Zuhair, you were an advocate for the third caliph. How is it that you're now on Hussein's side?" And Zuhair would say and reply with the most beautiful words. He would say, "That was then, and this is now. I am now on the side of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, and I will defend Hussein with my last drop of blood." Such nobility, such loyalty. Brothers and sisters, we're gonna go for a short break. The phone lines are open, so if you do want to call us after the break, and inshallah, we will take your calls and listen to your du'as, listen to your supplications, listen to your stories with the likes of Zuhair ibn al-Qayn. Stay with us.
Imam Hussein TV invites you for the journey of a lifetime. Wherever you may be in this world, experience the sound of Aza, the sight of the golden domes, and the energy of love. Witness a 24-hour live stream from the holy city of Karbala throughout the 10
Lamentations and elegies in honor of Imam Hussein.
days of Muharram, exclusively on Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala.
Gather round, let love's verses unfold. Verses of love, a story untold. In words we unite, emotions entwine. Labbayka ya Hussein, where hearts are defined. Join me as we unravel the poignant stories of martyrdom, of sacrifice, of mercy that Imam Hussein alayhi salam bestowed upon his followers. Join me every night as we lament through poems and lamentations and elegies in honor of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Join me for verses of love.
With your love and patience. 1300 years since the battle.
Zuhair ibn al-Qayn al-Bajali, one of the fiercest warriors in the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So fierce that in fact Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, even though Zuhair came and met Hussein at Karbala, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein made him commander of the right flank of his army. We read in the Maqtal that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam put Zuhair ibn al-Qayn on the right. For many, they would say that he was probably a good army commander. Correct. Others would maybe say something else. But because Abu Abdullah al-Hussein knew the blood of Zuhair was pure, he kept Zuhair on the right side. He kept him as a commander of his army. Zuhair, it's really interesting. He had just come back from Hajj. And after Hajj, you want to go with your family and you want to celebrate that you've come back from Hajj and you've done the tawaf and you've completed your pilgrimage. But Zuhair had other plans. I want everyone who's watching to just sit and imagine. Imagine the situation. Imagine you are traveling with Zuhair. And you're traveling with Zuhair, and in the distance you see a cavalry. You see camels and you see horses. And as you approach, you see Misbah al-Huda wa Safinat al-Najat. You see the Ark of Salvation, and you see the light of guidance in front of you. How could you possibly say no? And Zuhair, MashaAllah, you know, in Iraq, for example, whenever you walk around in the streets of Karbala, every name, every single name that was in the battle of Karbala, you hear it being called all around you. You hear Habib, you hear Zuhair, you hear Muslim, you hear Burair, you hear John, you hear Abis. And subhanallah, the people of Karbala, the people of Iraq, and even elsewhere, the lovers of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad made sure to never let go of these names. Brothers and sisters, your names are on this flag. And mashallah, we see Radha, Rizwan, Hassan, Sulaiman, Abbas, Kawthar, Mahdi, Murtala. All of these names make you proud. Make you proud of your identity. The flag of Ya Hussein needs to be filled with the purest of names. Brothers and sisters, the phone lines are open. If you do want to call in and speak to your Mawla, then please go ahead. Do we have a caller on the line? Muhammad from the UK. Assalamu alaikum. Disconnected. Inshallah, Brother Muhammad, if you want to call in, then please do so again, and inshallah will be able to take your call. One really touching fact is that, subhanallah, how a human being can change. And in the battle of Karbala, you see both changes. You see the change of Hur and Zuhair, and you see the change of the likes of Shabath and Shimr. Hur and Zuhair started on the wrong side, yet they found their way to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein because of pure hearts. Shimr and Shabath were amongst those who were in the army of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. But towards the end, they found the likes of Yazid and Umar bin Sa'ad and the filth that stepped on this land and decided to butcher the son of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, the son of Fatima and the son of Ali. And as we look closer to the dome of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, we can't but help and think that, Zuhair, you're buried in there. You're buried next to Sayyid al-Shuhada. What an honor. I'd love to ask Zuhair, if I had the opportunity, how does the companionship of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein feel like? Zuhair, how did it feel to have the cheek of Abu Abdullah on your cheek? Zuhair, how did it feel when you heard the desperation in the voice of Hussein? Zuhair, did you hear Ruqayya cry? Zuhair, what was your mother's reaction? Zuhair, have you met Fatima yet? Have you met Amir al-Mu'mineen? Zuhair, if you have, inshallah you send them my salams and the salams from everyone here. Zuhair, I want to ask you, Zuhair, did you do everything in your power to stop the enemies getting to Zainab? Did you make sure you sacrificed your life for Abbas? Zuhair, how are your companions around you? death in the way of Abu Abdullah sweet? Did you feel fulfilled? Did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi come with you with a glass of water? Zuhair, it's mentioned and it's narrated that Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, Zuhair killed nearly 120 of the enemies. Nearly 120 of the enemies of Allah, Zuhair annihilated. Until the Mal'oon until they surrounded him. Imam Hussein alayhi salam's army, his companions would go out in little groups and they would fight together because they were severely outnumbered. Zuhair, were you smiling with your companions when you went out to fight? Because I know you didn't fear death. Zuhair, I know you had hopes when you looked at Qasim, the son of Hassan, that you had hopes that he wouldn't go out to fight because he was still young, because he'd just been married. Zuhair, should I tell you what happened to Qasim? Zuhair, they butchered Qasim. Zuhair. Zuhair, did your heart break? Zuhair, did your heart break when you heard the children shouting Al-Atash? Three days. You know, we hear of dictators over the years, their atrocities, their killings. We hear how they kill people. Yazid, you send an army of 30,000 against 77? Wallah, had it not been for Saqifa, none of this would have happened. Had it not been for them usurping the right of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, who you see in Najaf right now, none of this would have happened. Had it not been for the lies told, had it not been for the lies instilled in the minds of the people, Karbala wouldn't have happened. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to leave you with the footage of Karbala and Najaf. Have a look, see what you want to speak about when you call in. Stay with us.
جاي قادم النور قادم للحبيب على عبد الحسين الكربلائي. كربلاء بقاعك نزل حسين بن خير العمل. الضعل لما نوصل ما بي عليله ما بي دمع ظلت بالوطن غصن من أم الحسن. وردة ذبلت بالمحن عقب العقيلة عقب وما اجت ام البنين يا صبورها. نهر دزت للنهر يا طف قمارها. نهر دزت للنهر يا طف قمارها. بالوطن شجرة حزن ذابلة نوح. من قبل يوم الظما تعيش الجروح. فراق عباس القمر سابيها من منازل فاطمة وواليها. خوما تعبت قادم النور قادم اليوم يمك كربلاء. فدوة تلقي الحسين وهلا اليوم يمك كربلاء. تلقي قافلة وتشف القمر حاديها. من منازل فاطمة قادم النور. لا تتعب قادم النور. برضك حسين اختنق قلبك انخم احترق. صدره وي ظهره انطبق قبل الحوافر إلك. صاح ودموعه هلي هنا مجازر كل هلي. هنا يطيح ابني علي مذبوح باكر مذبوح باكر. جاسمه احلمني الضوى بعيون امه. نزف لي الموت بدمع والحنه دمه. نزف لي الموت بدمع والحنه دمه. تربتك تشرب دمع اغلى شبان. يطيح قرآن السماء بصفة قرآن.
Brothers and sisters, you saw in front of you the majalis happening in the Ataba al-Husayniyah. And these majalis happen everywhere. Tonight we not only commemorate Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, we commemorate others such as Fatima al-Alil, the one who didn't make it to Karbala, the one who wished to make it to Karbala, wished to be there in the Holy Land, wished to be by her father, but sadly she couldn't make it. Inshallah, we have phone calls that will need to be answered, and we take the first one and we say Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
I am Haider Rizvi, Sayyid Muhammad Haider Rizvi from Islamabad, Pakistan.
Sayyid Haider Rizvi from Islamabad, Pakistan. Sayyid Haider,
Yes,
when was your last visit to the Holy Land?
in 2018.
2018.
I must remember the place. Now I am remembering the place, and I can't express my feeling how I am talking with you. It's a very blessing for me to talk in the holy place. Please pray for me. The Imam Hussein will come, will invite me again.
Brother Sayyid Haider, I'm going to put the shrine in front of you and I want you to ask him. I don't need to ask him for you. Your voice is here in front of the dome. The shrine is right in front of you, my dear brother. Go ahead, ask about Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum ya Aba Abdullah al-Hussein wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I pray to my beloved Imam Hussein. I just need your sacrifice, and I just pray that I am only the morning of your sacrifice.
Sayyid Haider,
Yes,
what night are you commemorating tonight? Who are you remembering tonight?
I remember the nights of Karbala and the day of Karbala. A very common thing, the you can say the fragrance in the air.
Yeah.
I visit on Arba'in as well as on 3 Shaban.
MashaAllah, so you
2
witnessed.
times I visit, and both times I feel the fragrance. It's a very different fragrance in the air.
The fragrance of Karbala is different. Sayyid Haider, thank you so much for your call. We really appreciate you joining us on the I Am Husseini show. Jazakallah khair.
Please pray on behalf of me, and Mawla invites me again with my family, with my wife and my upcoming children. And please
Inshallah.
pray for me, and we will do Azadari at Imam Hussein Shirin.
Inshallah, inshallah, my dear brother, we pray for you. Thank you for your call. We take the next caller on the line and we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Sister, can I have your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Sister, could you speak up? What was your name?
Hello.
Sister, are you with me?
Assalamu. Hello. Can you hear me now, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you guys taking the
Alhamdulillah.
calls now?
Yeah, we're taking the calls. You're on the show right now, on the I Am Husseini show. What is your name, please?
This is Sadiq calling from London.
Sister Saadiya calling from London. Sister Saadiya, your last visit to Karbala was when?
So on this auspicious night, I would like to recite ziyarah for Imam Hussein, and later I would like to recite ziyarah for Abu Fadl al-Abbas.
Inshallah, we'll give you the opportunity, but tell me when your last ziyarah to Karbala was.
It was back in 2018.
2018. Sister, do you feel different this year about Muharram than you have done every year? Because 10th of Muharram,
every Muharram, it just drifts you back, and you remember the sacrifice that Imam made for all of us. And on this platform, I would like to request all the Muslim ladies to distribute veils in the name of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayh, because today we are able to recite Quran, we are able to sit in the majalis of Imam Hussein just because of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayh. So this is my message to all the ladies across the world, Muslim ladies, to always distribute veils in the name of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayh.
You're right, you're correct. She allowed us to recite Quran, and she allowed you to do many things, but one thing she did also allow you to do is to wear the hijab. She showed you what the hijab meant.
True.
And she stood for the hijab, even though her hijab was had an attempt to be humiliated. The purest of women of her time.
True.
Just so that the women
could
wear the hijab.
And I would also like to request you tonight, please make special dua for my father, for his health, for my health. I've got some serious health issue. My father is having some serious health issues.
What's your father's name?
Remember me in your duas. And if you can write our names on the flag as well, that would be very kind of you.
What's your father's name, sister?
Inshallah.
What's your father's name?
Sayyid Shahid.
Sayyid Shahid. Inshallah, Sayyid Shahid is going on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam right now.
And also my name Sadiq.
And your name has already gone up, sister.
And Fatima.
Please, the dome is in front of you. Have your ziyarah.
Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ya Ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen wa Sayyid al-Wasiina. Assalamu alayka ya Ibn Fatima al-Zahra Sayyidat al-Nisa'il Alamina. Assalamu alayka ya Mawla wal Ansar al-Mujtahideen wa Ajami wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajal farajat wa kharajat. I'll just take a minute of yours, but can I recite a quick ziyarah for Abu Fadl al-Abbas?
Abu Fadl, Allah, Abu Fadl al-Abbas, go ahead. Go ahead, recite a ziyarah for Abu Fadl al-Abbas, he deserves it. Deserves it.
والأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا أبو الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن السيد الوزين. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وجل فرجك ورجاك. Jazakallah khair, brother, for taking my
Jazakumullah khair al-jazaa, Sister Sadiq.
May Allah bless you all. The entire team of Imam Hussein TV.
Inshallah, pray for us as well, sister, during these holy nights.
Inshallah, make dua, inshallah. Would like to come again someday for Arba'een with my family.
Allah.
Inshallah.
Ya Allah. Thank you so much for your call. Jazakumullah khair al-jazaa. Inshallah, we take the next caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Call has been disconnected. Alright. Abu Talib, you had something you wanted to recite for the dear viewers. Inshallah.
We spoke about the greatness of Zuhair.
Yeah.
And we know that Zuhair was one of the martyrs.
Yeah.
After Zuhair went to the battlefield, he entered. He said, I am Zuhair, the son of Qayn. I will safeguard Hussein with the sword, because Hussein is from among the grandson of the Prophet. He is from the pure, immaculate and honorable sons. He is Allah's proof. There is no lie in this. I will strike you all. He is flawless. I wish that I could be split into two. It also narrates that Zuhair places his hand over the shoulder of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He says to him, O Hadi, O Mahdi, you shall soon meet your grandfather, Al-Murtada Ali, and Hassan, and those martyred, overwhelmed by the swords, the two-winged and the valiant martyrs, all whom are still alive. What a speech. I ask, Zuhair, how highly ranked are you? The fact that you place your hand of the shoulder of Imam al-Hussein, and we can only place our hands on his shrine.
Allah. Allah.
Zuhair, I tell you that after you was martyred, I tell you that you stood with a wide open chest to protect Imam al-Hussein. But Zuhair, do you know that after you were martyred, Imam al-Hussein was encountered by 1,900 arrows? Zuhair, do you know that Imam al-Hussein was encountered by 12 spears, 5 axes, and 3 swords? Zuhair, you are buried with your companions, with your team, with your group. You guys fought. You fought with honor, not with shame. But Zuhair, Imam al-Hussein's body, when it was buried, it wasn't buried complete.
Zuhair, you put your hand on the shoulder of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Zuhair, you had the actual opportunity to smell the fragrance of Abu Abdullah. Zuhair, you had the opportunity to see the area which Fatima al-Zahra alayha salam kissed. Zuhair, what did Jannah smell like? Zuhair, what did Jannah smell like? Zuhair, we want to smell Jannah. Your night is coming, and wallah, we are not by any means ignoring you, Abu Fadl. Abu Fadl, we know you want to give a night special for Zuhair. Because I know when you saw Zuhair ibn al-Qayn join the side of your brother, Abu Fadl, I know you felt a bit happy inside. You felt that the call of your brother was answered. You felt that there was an extra protector for Zainab salamullahi alayha. Abu Fadl, it's true you protected Zainab, and you did it to the best anyone ever could. Abu Fadl, tell us why she's buried so far from you. Abu Fadl, isn't Zainab the one you love? Isn't she the one who brought you up? Isn't she like a mother figure to you? Why did you allow her to be buried so far away from you? Is it to protect Ruqayya's shrine? It never gets easy, Abu Fadl. It never gets easy. Wallah, it doesn't get easy. Every year we bring up your musibah, and we bring the musibah of Zuhair, and we bring the musibah of your elder brother Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Wallah, it never gets easy. MashaAllah. For all its difficulty, there is no shame, not one bit shame in crying on live TV for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. No shame. Humiliation, or how do I say dhilla in Arabic? Is it humiliation?
Just to be humiliated.
To be humiliated. To be humiliated in the way of Hussein is something of pride. Old, young, rich, poor, all treated as lovers of Hussein. We have another caller on the line, and we say Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah. Sister Mahdiya?
Yes.
MashaAllah. Sister Mahdiya, and I'm assuming Mum, Sister Hannah, is with you, correct?
Yes,
yes, Brother Minhal, it's me,
MashaAllah.
Hannah.
Sister Hannah, what's the feeling right now on the night of Zuhair?
I don't know, Brother Minhal, I'm feeling a very, very strange mixture of emotions at the moment. I mean, think because I've been unable to physically attend majalis for the past few years since COVID happened, because of my health and because of my vulnerabilities in my health.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel I'm not perhaps connected enough.
Okay.
And today I ended up telling Mehdiya off for not focusing enough on Imam Hussein, when perhaps the focus is lacking from me, and I'm trying to bring that feeling back. And it's sometimes you get these moments.
You know, you reminded me of the
where
poet.
you think you're not doing enough for Imam Hussein.
You just reminded me of the poet, and he writes a poem as if al-Banin is speaking to her sons, and she's saying to them, سامحوني يا بنيني لو قسيت أنا بكلام. Basically, forgive me, oh my sons, if I'm a bit harsh with my words with you. You're my sons and I love you, but Imam al-Hussein is my Imam and I love him more. So whoever I can give.
This is what I was trying to explain to Mahdiya today, and I feel like somehow I failed her and I failed myself.
No. Can I speak to Mahdiya?
And through that I failed Imam Hussein, and it's filling me with,
SubhanAllah,
I don't know, regret, pain.
Can I speak to Mahdiya, please?
Sure, Mahdiya.
Mahdiya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you slightly.
Mahdiya, my dear, when mom becomes a bit harsh, it's not because she hates you. It's because she wants that when Sahib al-Zaman appears, she wants you to be one of the first to be able to stand by his side, especially when it comes to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. She wants you to be one of the first to be able to stand and say, I, Mahdiya, will take revenge for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. It's not because she hates you, it's because she loves you. Everything Mum does is to prepare you for Sahib al-Zaman. Did you get all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come here.
So I want, after you recite your ziyarah, because our imams always tell us,
Yeah. Okay.
our imams tell us to kiss the hand and kiss the head of our parents. So always, Mahdiya, try, whenever you say goodbye to your mum, or whenever you say good night to mum, or good morning to mum, kiss her from the hand and from the forehead. Alright?
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
No worries. Bismillah, I want to hear your ziyarah. Go ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa shafirjam. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Amir al-Mu'minin Sayyid al-Wasin. Assalamu alaikum ya Fatima al-Zahra Sayyidat al-Nisa al-Alamin. Assalamu alaikum Khadija al-Kubra. السلام عليك يا حسن مجتبى السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وللأرواح التي علت بفنائك عليكم مني جميع سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت بقي الليل والنهار ولا جلاه آخر الأرض مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين ولا علي بن الحسين ولا أولاد الحسين ولا أصحاب الحسين ولا أخيك الحسين ولا أختك الحسين ولا أم بني ولا تسد المعصومين سريتك الحسين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح لله ورسوله والأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين السلام عليك يا أبو الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوسيلين السلام عليك يا صدقاء سكينة السلام عليك يا سكان داشا يا كاشف الكرب وجه الحسين الإسلام اكشف كرب بحقيقة الحسين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان من فتنة الزمان السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجن أجل الله فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وسهولك السلام عليكم أهل البيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته
ما شاء الله.
اللهم صل على
محمد وآل محمد. Mahdiya, are you still with me?
Brother Minhal, we've lost you.
Are you still with me?
Yes, we're still here.
Okay,
but it's
good.
a very faint line. We can just about hear your voice.
All right. Well, I'm hoping the love of Hussein continues in Mahdiya's lineage.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
What you think, my dear? Say it.
It will.
It will.
And do you want to tell them, Minhal, what you learned about Zuhair ibn Qayyim today?
Yes,
That
let me
he
hear.
was the closest friend to Muqtada and
what did he do on the day of Ashura?
he shielded Imam Hussein.
Yes, he did.
During
Zohar.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He didn't even
He
fight
stood with his
sword.
body.
He didn't even fight with his sword.
He put it in that cover.
He put it in the sheath. Yeah.
And he just went like this.
He was
MashaAllah.
using his hands to remove the arrows, the flying arrows.
He just
Yeah.
went, like hit them
Yeah.
out the way.
Out the way, that's right. And he was hurt badly, was
Yeah, he was.
Say that a bit louder.
He was a bit like, they kind of like bended the rules and just backstabbed him.
Yep.
Yeah. They broke all the rules of war and battle during that time, so they didn't care what they did.
Yep. You face them face to face. Instead, killed
Yes.
from behind. Thank you
And
so
they were
much. Thank you for your call, Sister Mahdiya, Sister Hannah. We really appreciate you joining us tonight. Like every other night and every other year, when you call in and bless us with beautiful ziyarah. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair, brother, and it means a lot for us, especially for Mahdiya, to receive these teachings, these words of wisdoms, especially when sometimes as a mother, as a mother who's single-handedly raising her daughter and trying to teach her everything, it can sometimes be very, very difficult. And especially at a point when I myself find it so difficult missing out. I mean,
Yeah.
Mehdi and I used to recite fervently during majalis, and we would recite the eulogies, we would recite the latam,
Yeah.
and lead it, especially during Ashura in the Husseinia here in Birmingham. We would be I would be leading it with a friend of mine, and Mahdiya would join in, and we would be leading the matam during Ashura. And because we've missed out on this for so many years now.
You haven't missed out on anything. I want to tell you something. Sister Henna, I want to tell you something.
And since COVID and my vulnerabilities of not being able to be exposed.
Sister Henna, you might hear this on TV. You might not be able to hear me now.
Calls and anything, yes.
But
it's become difficult.
You may hear this on TV and you may not hear this from me now because the line may not be as good. This is probably a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see,
yes,
is your Husseini spirit going to continue at home? Is the service to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein going to continue, or is it going to stop? Is your teaching towards Mahdiyyah going to continue in the line of Hussein or not?
What happens this Muharram, we do not digress at all.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, for the last few Muharram, she's been so good and she's been on top of it. And this Muharram, I'm trying to imbibe exactly the same thing.
Inshallah.
As well. Inshallah.
Inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and bless Mahdiyyah. Thank you for your call. Inshallah, we will take the next caller on the line and we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. The call's been disconnected. Inshallah, if the viewer, brother or sister wants to call back, then inshallah we'll be more than happy to take in your call. Brother Abu Talib, you had a narration. You said you wanted to narrate.
It is the second day of Muharram.
Yeah.
Today me and you were in Bab al-Qibla.
Yes.
And we witnessed something unbelievable. A theatrical reenactment of the caravans of Imam Hussein reaching towards Karbala. It narrates that on the second day of Muharram, Imam Hussein's caravans reached to Karbala. After reaching, Imam Hussein asks, "What is this place called?" What is this place called? Someone said Nainawa. Another said the land of Ghadariya. Imam al-Hussein said, "Is there another name?" And from the distance, an old man said, This land is called
Karbala.
Karbala.
Karbin wa bala.
Our Imam went down on his knees, picked up the soil from the ground and said, "This is the land of Karb. This is the land of Karb, which means sorrow. And this is the land of Bala, calamity. This is the place where our blood will be shed. This is the place where my body will be trampled upon by the hoofs of the horses. This is the land in which my sister Zainab, which nor she was seen, nor her shadow. She will be seen running from a flaming tent to another. This is the land in which Ruqayyah will be blooded. This is the land of Karb wa Bala.
I want everyone who is watching right now to look at Karbala right now. If my dear brother, the director, can get us a shot of the Mukhayyam of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the tents of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This land didn't have any houses, had no buildings. Nothing was in this land except a mere couple of tents that were set up. The most difficult part is when you go to the Mukhayyam and you walk in. We want to apologize to our viewers that the shot you're about to see of the Mukhayyam might be a bit dark. But inshallah you can see what we are seeing. When you walk into the Mukhayyam, you look on one side, it says the tent of Al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. One of the first tents that you see in the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is the tent of Abbas. Why? Because he was the protector. Abbas, although night 7 is his, and we dedicate night 7 to Al-Fadl al-Abbas, let's narrate this story, shall we? Malik al-Ashtar used to say, I would go and ask Mawla, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, I would ask Mawla, I don't feel scared. I'm not scared of anything. Mawla, my heart seems to have gone dark. Mawla, my heart seems to have solidified. It's narrated that if you were to throw Malik al-Ashtar in a jungle in the middle of the night with sleeping lions, focus on how delicate and descriptive this is. Sleeping lions. Why a sleeping lion? Because a sleeping lion, once you wake it up, it jumps. It's more fierce. Put Malik al-Ashtar in a jungle with sleeping lions, he would never feel fear. Malik was asked, Malik, have you ever felt fear in your life? Malik said, no. Never. Except one occasion I felt fear. One occasion I felt fear. They said to him, when? He said, the Battle of Siffin. He said, during the Battle of Siffin, Mawla wanted to send out a 14-year-old boy. Some mentioned he was 15. He said, I went to Mawla, and look at his beautiful shrine right there in the holy land of Najaf. He said, I went to Mawla, and I said to him, Mawla, Are you really going to send out a 14-year-old boy to go and fight? Malik says the young boy turned around, took one look at me. He stared down my soul and shook me to my core. He said that young boy was called Al-Abbas, son of Ali. If Malik was scared of Abbas, what was the fear of the enemies? How fearful were they of Abbas? Do we have a caller? Yes. Inshallah, we'll take the next caller on the line and say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
Kamal Shah from Pakistan.
What was your name, sorry?
Kamal.
Sister, if you can just speak up for me, please. What was your name?
Rahman.
Rahman. Are you still with me? What was your name, sorry? One last time. Inshallah, if you would like to send in your name via WhatsApp, send your name via WhatsApp and we'll inshallah put it on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We're going to put the dome in front of you. Bismillah, go ahead. Have your ziyarah.
Right name flag of Abdullah.
The brothers in the control room have informed me your name was Kenwa, correct?
Sorry.
The brothers have informed me that your name is Kenwa, correct?
Yes.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah, Kenwa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for your ziyarah, and we thank you so much for calling in, and your name has been written on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Jazakumullah khair al-jaza. Inshallah, we'll take the next caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Disconnected. Inshallah, to the brother or sister who wants to call back, our lines are getting very busy, so inshallah we'll be able to accept your call if you call one more time. But please, brothers and sisters, call us via WhatsApp on the number you see on your screens right now, and go on our website to learn more about the I Am Husseini show. For many, the caller is ready. Okay, let's have the caller. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Yasmin Hussein. I'm calling from Scotland, Glasgow.
Yasmin Al-Hussein?
Yes.
And you're calling from Scotland, Glasgow. MashaAllah. Sister Yasmin, when was your last visit to the Holy Land of Karbala?
I went 2 years ago with my daughter, and unfortunately my husband passed away. Before that, a year before, I went with my husband, and he passed away. So I'm just living myself just now. So I would like send my salam to Mawla Hussein. And
Sister,
I would like to go again.
Inshallah, sister. Someone on the day of Ashura, amongst all the other men, also lost her husband. Yes, you can. Of course.
And one of my daughter is not well. She has MS. If you could pray for her, so her MS would stop.
Yasmin, what's your daughter's name? Give me your daughter's name.
Imam Hussein.
What was the name?
Zainab Hussein.
Maida Hussein. Zainab Hussein, sorry. Zainab Hussein, subhanallah. What a beautiful name. Zainab Hussein, mashallah. Sister Yasmin.
Yeah.
We know that Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, his shrine is pure. And I just want you to, when you think of your husband, your late husband, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his soul, I want you to think of Sayyida Rabab. I want you to think of the wife of Zuhair ibn al-Qaym, the wives of all the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam who lost their husbands.
Yes, I know. I've just been to a majlis.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. It's very sad.
It's very sad.
My Mawla suffered a lot. Bibi Zainab suffered a lot.
And this suffering.
I just pray to Allah, Mawla, keep all my children of al-Bayt so they all stay on the right path.
Sister.
May Allah keep them all well. And go to the Mawla's shrine, Zarat.
Sister Hussein is in front of you. His shrine is right on your screen right now. And your voice is here in the holy land of Karbala. Speak to your Mawla.
Ya Mera Mawla, Ya Allah, please make my daughter well. So she never suffers, she never said ever on a wheelchair. Mawla, keep all my children on say right path, al-Bayt path. Make them pray 5 times a day, that's my wish. They all go to Ziyarah.
What a dua.
I lost my mom, I lost my dad, I lost my brother when I was 32. Now I lost my husband. So
Sister,
I just want my grandchildren all to be well, and may Allah take them all to Ziyarat. That's my wish in my life. So they all come to Ziyarat. May Allah keep them on the right path. Mawla Hussein, Ghazi Wasalam, Babul Huwaj. Please, Mawla, make my daughter well. Keep all my children well. I can't see them because I'm not too well myself, and I can't cope seeing my children no well. Mawla Hussein, please keep my children all well and keep them on the right path, and my grandchildren on the right path.
Sister Yasmin.
Shukriya, brother. Thank you so much.
Sister Yasmin, I want to ask you a question. How old was your brother when he passed away?
32. 32. He had a brain tumor.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sister Sayyida Zainab alayha salam lost her brother when he was in his 30s, Ghazi Abbas.
Bibi Zainab suffered so much. I cry every day for Bibi Zainab. I love her so much. I love Bibi Zainab so much. She's been through a lot. She's seen everything. It's no easy for anybody, especially Bibi Zainab. Seen everything, lost brother, everyone, whole family, sons, everything. Our sorrow is nothing compared with Eleanor.
Sister, I can feel the pain in your voice. How do you think the voice of Zainab was and the pain that she felt?
I just can't even imagine. Daughter of Walali, just can't even imagine how can people hurt them so much. That's when I cry every day. Wala, why people done this to you? What can Muslims have? I don't know.
Sister, let me ask you. When you cry for Bibi Zainab, do you cry for Bibi Kulthum as well?
Yes, I do. Bibi Skira, Bibi Rukaya.
Sister, I want you to imagine that in a few moments' time you will be in the shrine of Sayyida Zainab alayha salam in Sham.
Inshallah, I will be going there. Inshallah, I pray every day.
Just imagine that you are there right now. And imagine all the doors are closed in the shrine except for you inside. You're alone. You are alone in the shrine of Bibi Zainab alayha salam. What would you tell Bibi?
I would sit and talk to my Bibi and do afsos for everyone. Tell her how much I love her, how much pain she's been through. Given by so-called Muslims, lanat on them.
What if Bibi tells you? If Bibi tells you, Yasmin, I needed you in Karbala. Yasmin, I really needed you in Karbala, but you weren't there, Yasmin. What would you say to Bibi?
I wish I was there, Bibi. I wish I was there with her. I just wish I was there to help my Bibi. Bless me, that's what I said, please, Bibi. I committed any sins to take them away. That Bibi deserves so much.
Yasmin.
Poor Bibi.
But Bibi Ruqayya wasn't ill. Bibi Ruqayya's black marks were from the beatings of Shimr.
I don't know, sometimes I think too much and I say, I don't know why they done this, why?
Could you?
How can anybody hurt from his family? What can Muslims on me? That's what makes me really sad. I just want to pray, Mawla sir, please please, please keep my children in the right path, Al-Bayt path. And keep them with their faith always, always in the right path. That's my wish as a mother and my grandchildren.
Sister Yasmin, I want to personally thank you for this call.
Thank you so much.
You have not only made me cry, but you've made my brother Abu Talib cry as well. Jazakallah khair al-jaza for this call. Fi amanillah. Brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful things about the dua of Yasmin was make them pray 5 times a day. Salah was so important for her. Do you know who else had Salah up so high and important? The man we speak about tonight, Zuhair. Because he was one of the people that was guarding the body of Imam al-Hussein and guarding those who were praying, the Musallin. He would stand, and after Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam finished his Dhuhr Salah, Zuhair found 2 arrows in his chest. But that still didn't prevent him from going out to fight. He went out and he fought and killed the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we say in Iraqi, بيض وجه أبو علي. He brought light to the face of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein.
He did bring light to the face of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. The night before Ashura, when Imam al-Hussein withdrew the allegiance of his companions and the household, and gave them permission to run away and save their lives. Every one of the companions declared their allegiance and faithfulness to him. After members of Imam al-Hussein's household expressed their allegiance, Zuhair stood up and said,
what did he say?
Ya Abu Abdullah, I will face you and tell you what Zuhair said.
I want to, Bismillah.
Abu Abdullah, I want to remind you. Zuhair stood up and said, I swear to God that what I want is I want to be killed, then be live again, and then be killed again for 1,000 times, so that God protects you and your household from being killed. Abu Abdullah, your companions brought light to your face.
Abu Talib, just from that hadith, imagine as well with me, and brothers and sisters at home, imagine Imam al-Hussein, Abu Talib saying to you, Abu Talib, go Abu Talib, go. Abu Talib, you've come with me, your sword is here. Abu Talib, go home. Khalas Abu Talib, no problem. Your ajr and your thawab is with me. Go home. Abu Talib, save yourself.
No, Abu Abdullah.
Abu Talib, don't have an arrow strike you. Abu Abdullah tells you, Abu Talib, turn around and go home. Abu Talib, get on your horse. Go back to your mother. Your mother's waiting for you.
No, Abu Abdullah. I say the same words that Zuhair says. Abu Abdullah, I wish to be killed. I'm brought alive and killed again and brought alive 1,000 times, only for you and your household to be protected.
Yeah. Now I ask you, my dear viewers, if Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam told you, if Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam told you, go, would you go? Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we will take the next caller on the line and say Assalamu alaikum. Disconnected. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum. Phone call has been disconnected. Brothers and sisters, I want you to just for 2 minutes, to just, and if my dear brother the director can just show you the atmosphere of Karbala. Yes. Brothers and sisters, do you see Bayn al-Haramain? It becomes more full by the minute, by the hour. MashaAllah, myself and my brother Abu Talib, we leave when it's at its peak heat. We go to the mawkib of one of our dear brothers in front of the Hawza of Sayyid Sadiq al-Shirazi, may Allah, Hawza Sayyid al-Shuhada, and we serve the Zuwar juice, and a lot of them are very appreciative, but the streets are empty sometimes. Why is that?
The heat reaches up to 50 degrees.
Okay, 50 degrees. When desire drinks, what do they feel?
When they are quenched, their thirst, they are refreshed.
Abu Talib, tell me, what was Abu Abdullah's feeling? Abu Talib, tell me, what was Abu Abdullah's feeling when he didn't have any water?
They are nourished. But you know what Abu Abdullah witnessed? Do you know what quenched the thirst of Abu Abdullah? It was the blood. It was the blood that came down dripping from his head to his mouth. Abu Abdullah, I bear witness that I will try to quench the thirst of each and every pilgrim that reaches your land. But Abu Abdullah, I apologize that I couldn't quench your thirst on the day of Ashura. Abu Abdullah, I couldn't quench the thirst of Abdullah al-Radi'. Abu Abdullah, you witnessed it.
Allah.
when you held your 6-month-old child back to the khayma, and you walked and you stopped. You walked and stopped. The companions asked, why did Abu Abdullah walk and stop continuously? Abu Abdullah, every time he stopped, he wanted to hear if the child is still whinging, if he's still crying, this means he's still alive. But if his cries stopped, then he died. He would have been martyred. And Minhal, I narrate to you, a 6-month child that you can hold in your palm. When the blood was shed, the arrow entered from one side of the neck and left from the other side of his neck. The blood spilled. This child opened his mouth and made his tongue leave his mouth, thinking that the blood was water. He was quenched. His thirst was quenched by his blood. Abu Abdullah, Ya Sahib al-Zaman, I apologize for saying these narrations, but we are ordered to tell and preach and narrate what had taken place to you. May Allah curse the ones who have been in the cause of what had taken place in Karbala.
Abu Talib, you apologized for not being able to quench the thirst of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Abu Talib, what was Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas's apology to Zainab? Brothers and sisters, I ask you, how heartbroken was Abbas? How heartbroken was Abbas that he couldn't get the water to Zainab alayhi salam? You feel heartbroken that you watching, visiting, seeing the shrine of Hussein, that you couldn't give Hussein water. How about the one who touched the Furat? How about the one who smelt the Furat? How about the one who had the water of the Furat close to him? And then let it go. Continue to take your calls, my dear brothers and sisters. Inshallah, we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name's Musa and I'm calling from England. England, Dewsbury, Wakefield.
MashaAllah, all the way from Wakefield. Brother Musa, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
10 years old. Musa, what's your connection with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam?
My connection is to try and be in Imam Mahdi's army and try and be devoted to him at all times.
Musa, have you ever cried for Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam?
Yeah, a lot of times in like masajids as well, in majlis.
Have you visited Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam?
Unfortunately, I have never, but I always wish to.
It's beautiful here, Musa. You should come one day.
Yeah, thank you.
Insha'Allah, Insha'Allah. Musa, if you want, I'm going to put the shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam in front of you, but I want you to imagine that you are one of the children in the camp of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. And the shrine is in front of you, Habibi. Have your ziyarah. Bismillah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do you want me to help you out with the ziyarah?
Yeah, sure, thanks.
Okay, repeat after me. Assalamu alayka.
Can I do Imam and can I do Dua Imam Zamana?
Say that again.
Can I do Dua Imam Zamana?
Yeah, sure.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذا الساعة في كل سائلين حافظا وقائدا ناصرا ودليلا ونعينا حتى تسكن زكاة غربته فيها إلى برحمتك يا الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم.
ولعن أعداءهم. Never forget. ولعن أعداءهم. You send the la'na on the enemies of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam. Thank you, Brother Musa, for your call. We really, really appreciate you. And
very welcome.
And mashallah, a young Husseini like yourself, inshallah, always in the service of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Thank you.
Mashallah. Can we take the next caller on the line, please? Disconnected. Inshallah.
Brother Minhal.
Yeah.
You said something very beautiful. And it says, وَلْعَنْ أَعْدَاءَهُمْ.
Always.
This is not something that you pick up from your pocket. Nothing that I narrate. But I narrate from Sayyid al-Shuhada Abu Abdullah al-Hussein.
Sallallahu alayk, Sayyid.
The night of Zuhair, after Zuhair is martyred, Imam al-Hussein prayed for him and said, O Zuhair, may God bless you with his mercy and curse your killers with an eternal curse, like that of Israelites who transshaped by God. It is our duty to curse the enemies of Allah always at the end of any of our prayers.
Yeah. The death of Zuhair hurt Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. It wasn't the arrows, and it wasn't the swords, and it wasn't the spears, and it wasn't the axes, and it wasn't the hooves of the horses trampling on the body of Abu Abdullah that hurt him. It was seeing the ones who were close friends of his and his brothers and his fathers and his grandfathers, seeing them one by one drop to the ground. And performing Salat al-Mayyit on them. Yeah. Inshallah, we take a call from one of our beloved viewers. We say, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Repeat one more time.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name, please?
My name is Marzia, M-A-R-Z-I-Y-A.
Marzia.
I want to write my newborn son name. His name is Asad Abbas. He's 3 months
Allahu
old.
Akbar. Allahu Akbar. What a name. The name for our non-Arabic speakers is the Lion of Abbas.
He's also responding.
Allahu Akbar. The Lion of Abbas. Inshallah, he grows up to be a servant of Abbas. How old is he?
He's 3.5 months. He'll turn 4 months in.
Very close in age to Abdullah al-Radi'.
Sorry?
Very close in age to Abdullah al-Radi' or Ali al-Asghar.
Yes.
Sister, what would happen to you if anything bad happened to your baby?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but like your voice is cracking a little bit. I'm sorry.
I do apologize for that. It's the Iraqi internet. I want to ask you, what would happen, what would your feeling be if anything happened to your baby?
When I held my baby?
No, if anything happened to your baby.
I can't even imagine. I just imagine when Janabe Ali Asghar was Shaheed, what happened to Bibi Rabab. Our Salam and our son sacrificed for them. You know, a mother cannot imagine if anything is happening to the son. Salam to Bibi Rabab who sent.
So my sister, I want you to look towards the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, but when you're looking to the shrine and when you're speaking to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, imagine your child on the chest of Hussein.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
Bismillah, perform your ziyarah.
Was Shaheed, what happened to Bibi Rabab? Our Salam and our son sacrificed for them. You know, a mother cannot imagine.
Sister, please perform your ziyarah. Go ahead.
Salam to Bibi Rabab who sent. So my sister, I want you.
Sister, if you can turn the YouTube volume down just so that you hear me through the phone. Okay. I will do a ziyarah inshallah on your behalf. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Fatimat al-Zahra. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. Insha'Allah, that ziyarah was counted for you. And insha'Allah, you and your newborn baby can visit Karbala very, very soon. But when you visit Karbala, and when you hold your newborn to your chest, I want you to imagine the body of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein lying on the ground with the body of Ali al-Asghar on his chest. And the same love you feel and the same pain you would feel if anything happened to your child, then imagine the pain of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Abu Talib, we are coming towards the end of this show. Any final thoughts from yourself?
I just want to say, the older that we get,
yeah,
the more attached we get to Imam Hussein.
Oh.
And the more time we spend in his service, the more we feel that he's a father figure for us. And I can't express, and I can't imagine how Ali al-Akbar,
Allah, we're coming to him, inshallah,
would see Imam al-Hussein go and come back.
Allah. Brothers and sisters, we have come towards the end of this show. We would like to thank every single one of you for joining us. I would like to thank our team here at Imam Hussein TV who do an absolutely smashing work. Our brothers Sajjad and Yasser, who work tirelessly to bring you the beautiful shots and the beautiful sounds of Karbala. Our brother Muhammad, who is in charge of putting your calls through into the studio. And of course, I would like to thank all of you for joining us here in the holy land of Karbala. We end the show and we say, ويبقى الحسين ويبقى الحسين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Every beat of my heart, Ya Hussein. Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein. What is left in us besides this great love? And our hearts beat, Ya Hussein. Every beat of my heart, Ya Hussein. Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein.
Join us for Verses of Love, the Husseini Kids edition, during the first 10 nights of Muharram.
Only on Imam Hussein TV.
Stay, you leave her to cry and well. Stay, you leave her to cry and well, my son.
Over by Muhammad.
دستمو بگیر و برگردون اگه دور شدم ازت گاهی دستمو بگیر بذار آقا که فقط پایین علم باشم وعده دادم به دلم بازم شب 40 حرم باشم بی تو میمیرم به امام رضا تو گرمی نفس های منی بی تو نمیخوام هیچ کس و غیر از که تو آقای منی بی تو میمیرم نمیخوام هیچ کس و غیر از که تو آقای منی صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله روحي وأرواح العالمين لك الفداء يا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء in the words of Fatima al-Alila, I have aged yet so terribly without my father by my side. I was raised but in a shadow. I slept in all the tears I cried. My days were without end or hope. Only nights did I abide, for it would reflect my sorrow. Even my tears, they had no guide. I watched you leave our humble home, and by our door waiting I stood, but no one came back to raise me, and my heart never understood. Inna lillahi wa inna
راجعون وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers at home, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You are watching Verses of Love live, coming to you live from the city of London, exclusively on Imam Hussein TV 3. Dear respected viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On this show, I am of course joined by either one of my two gems. It's either Al-Hajj Ibrahim Ansari, who we had on yesterday, or it's my dear brother Sayyid Ali Al-Nawab. And so first and foremost, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum Sayyidina.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You are the gem.
Habibi Sayyidina.
And we are honored to have you.
Alhamdulillah.
And to be sitting on a show and on a set with you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sayyidina. And of course, I'm going to welcome our dear guest for tonight, Mullah Ali Al-Zuhairi. Mullah Ali, assalamu alaikum.
Habibi salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
How's everything? Inshallah, all is well.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Very honored to be here.
Alhamdulillah. Allah Sallam Mullah. Thank you so much. So, as I mentioned, we have our two guests, and tonight we are remembering, and inshallah, we will delve into this topic further with Sayyid Ali in terms of Fatima al-Alila. And I'll ask Sayyid Ali to explain essentially what al-Alila means and who this person is. But our topic for today, because Fatima al-Alila was left in Medina, she was then considered an orphan because her father went out towards Karbala and didn't come back. And so today's topic, Sayyidina, with your permission, is to talk about, I guess, the orphans. And of course, many people out there, they contribute generously to orphans and widows and those that are less fortunate. But for today's topic and what I'd love to discuss with you is essentially the orphans that we know of and that we see, especially in Iraq, because I go to Iraq, you go to Iraq, Mullah Ali goes to Iraq, and there's orphans that we see. So what is the reality of these orphans in this day and age, Sayyidina?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. The reality of orphans is a very bitter reality, a reality which overcasts the reality of life in Iraq. Yani, you would not fail to find a home that either has an orphan or has an orphan in one of their relatives or friends that they know or their neighbors. Because of the many trials and tribulations that Iraq in the previous history and in the current history is going through, because of the sectarian issues, because of the terrorists, because of the extremists, because of the political climate of the country, because of the greed of the neighboring countries to Iraq and what they see that they can take because of their interests. And the main reason of why we see such a huge number of orphans in Iraq, and especially within the Shia followers of al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, and this has been the case all throughout history. It started with al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, and it continued to cover and to include their followers and their Shia, is the fact that they are the Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and they carry the love of Ali ibn Abi Talib in their hearts. And we would not fail to go and research and see that the Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen in some parts of Iraq, in Baghdad, in other cities neighboring Baghdad, when they were identified as being Shia, because of being Shia, or because of when they stopped them on the road, when the Shia of Ahlul Bayt were traveling from one location to another, they used to establish these stops and stop the cars, and they used to check the IDs of the Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. They used to see that his name is a Shi'i name, or he is from Karbala, or he's from Najaf.
It's hard to imagine that happens in Iraq, Sayyidina, when it happened.
In the recent history, after the fall of the Ba'athi regime, things turned into a political turmoil. The fact that there was this lack of security and instability in the country, a government still had to be formed. So this caused a bit of havoc in the country. So they stopped them, as we say in Iraqi, ala al-hawiyya, on the fact that they had these IDs, and it said that he is from Karbala, he is from Najaf, he is from Nasiriyah, he is from Diwani, he is from Hilla. They used to kill them there and then. And they left these men that they were killed, or these women that they were killed, and became martyrs. They joined the caravan of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. They left behind these orphans. And until recent history, when there were car bombings or there were suicide bombings, they go into a marketplace. People are busy. In the middle of the day, that criminal goes inside the marketplace and blows himself. He doesn't know who he is blowing up, this lady, this mother, this auntie, this sister. And the casualties that we used to see. This is the fact that Iraq, especially in the northern part of Iraq, there is an orphan or two in every house that has inhabitants who are the Shia of Ahlul Bayt.
So what's now the challenges that the orphans face?
Well, the first challenge is the instability. There is no safety, there is no security, which always threatens the lives of these families, the lives of these orphans. The fact that there is no safety, the fact that there is no security, that means that they can't live. There is no life. If you are afraid to go out of your home, if you are afraid to move out from your street, what kind of a life do you have? There are times that families bid farewell to their husbands and their fathers and their brothers. They don't know that the fact that my brother or my father is leaving them in the morning, if I am going to be able to see him later on this afternoon. Is he going to come back home or not? And there were many cases that the father used to leave to go to work in the afternoon. They would hear there was a car bomb or explosion, and the father is gone shaheed. Khalas.
Yeah. He leaves behind a wife.
He leaves behind a wife, a widow, the kids who don't have anyone to look after them. So this challenge, the first challenge is safety and security. With safety and security comes the financial stability as well. If there is no safety and security, people can't work. They can't make a living. They can't eat. They can't provide. They can't take a piece of bread home. So that's why you see there is lots of poverty. So this is one of the challenges, that these orphans, there isn't a welfare system.
No.
Or if there is what is called a welfare system, it's still not working properly. Not everyone is able to receive that welfare. So you will see that these orphans, because of they don't have an elder in the family, they have to go out and make a living for the family. That's why when you go to Iraq, when you go to Najaf, when you go to Basra, Nasiriyah, Amara, Diwaniyah, and other places, you will see, go to the marketplace, go to the fruits market, or go to any market, you will see that young children, they are standing, for example, he's got a load of plastic bags. As soon as he sees you enter the marketplace, he comes and sells a plastic bag. He begs you. He says to Ammu, اشتري من عندي. And there were times that I personally experienced it. I sit down and speak to them. I tell them, أقول لك أنت شنو اسمك? What is your name? He tells me either Ali, Muhammad, Hassan, Ja'far, Hussein. And then I ask him, where do you live? Where is your family? وين أهلك? أقول له أنت من كربلاء؟ أنت من وين? Where are you from? Are you from Karbala? Because I usually go to Karbala. He says, no, I am from, he names me a different city.
Ajib.
And we're talking about a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old. I tell him, what are you doing here? Where's your father? Where's your mother? He tells me, I have come here with my older brother, for example, to work, to make a living, so we can, at the end of the week, we go back to my family and we give my mother what we made.
Because maybe Karbala is a vibrant city full of tourists.
Yeah,
so
because Karbala, Najaf, Kadhimiya, these hold sacred burial sites, sacred mausoleums, sacred shrines of honorable imams and infallible individuals who are buried there. So you will tend to see international visitors coming to visit, to be honored by the presence of these luminous individuals buried in these locations. So you will see, so there will be a kind of a movement, a financial movement, haraka yani, financially. So people come, they flock to these cities so they can make a living. And not only because these are religious cities, there are numerous areas in Iraq, in some of the northern cities, that have poor areas, very people are living in ruins, literally ruins, because they don't have a shelter. When it rains, the ceiling leaks. And these are orphans. And when we're talking orphans, we mean that the challenge of security and safety, the challenge of finance, which means that they can't go and have a good education. They can't go and learn because he has to go out and work. If he doesn't go and work, who is going to come and knock on the door and give them the bread or the meat or the fruit or the vegetables that they need to feed themselves? Many of them, you believe me, and you have seen this, and I'm sure Mullah Ali has also witnessed this firsthand, is that many of them sleep the night hungry, Mullah Ali. They sleep the night not having to eat anything. And I have personally seen this, and you have seen this. They stand around these restaurants or early in the morning, before everyone wakes up, in the darkness of the early morning, you will see them coming in the vicinity of the old city. They go and they start searching in the pile of the garbage. Is this the status of the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib? So these are some of the challenges.
We'll go back to that, inshallah. I just wanted to turn my attention to Mullah Ali. This is your first time in reciting in London?
Reciting in London, yeah, it is Mullah, yeah.
How's it been so far? I think it's been 3 nights so far.
3 nights, yeah, it's been amazing. It's one night better than the other.
Yeah. So it's been good, kind of, we say it's a good vibe in the majlis, a very good Husseini vibe.
Yeah.
You can connect with the audience.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I wanted to ask you actually in terms of Muharram in Dearborn, because I'm not sure if you've grown up most of your life in Dearborn. Personally, I've been to Dearborn in Muharram, and I do feel there's a big Husseini spirit. You know, there's banners and flags at all the different houses. And tell us about, I guess, the Muharram spirit from how you recognize Dearborn.
So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
It's an honor to be here. So Dearborn has one of the biggest Shia communities outside of the Middle East, and specifically Dearborn. I grew up in Dearborn. We have there's so many different centers, mosques, Husseiniyyat, some for the Iraqis, some for the Lebanese, some for the Pakistani brothers. But the ones I grew up around are the Iraqi ones and the Lebanese ones mostly. I've been, my whole life, unfortunately. Yeah. On one street, on Warren Road, and I know if the people of Dearborn are watching right now, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'd say about at least 10 centers on that road.
Just that one road?
10 centers. From different, and the attendees from, مثلا, the first one starts with Markaz Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq. And then, man, I'm gonna get so much trouble. Be in so much trouble. And then Jam' Imam Ali, Al-Fayha, Jumhur al-Husseini. There is not a spot for you to even sit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I believe, as we say, London is the Karbala of Europe.
Yeah.
I would assume that Dearborn
is the Karbala
is probably the Karbala of North America.
Oh yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, 100%.
The marches, especially during this time, the Husseiniya gets a permit to do Aza Zinjil outside of the Husseiniya.
Okay.
In the parking lot.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, the car park, I don't know if you guys call it that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we used to get about 300.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, Muazzin, they come and do Aza, the Zinjil Aza. During the night, again, everywhere is just packed with Muazzin, yeah.
So tonight, you recited, where are you reciting this year?
Husseiniyyat Rasul al-A'zam.
Fantastic. And tonight you were commemorating Fatima and
Ali.
Just, I know that every single year on the third night Muharram, typically the Iraqi majalis, they cover the Fatima al-Alila. Year on year, how do you connect with this specific personality?
Sayyid al-Alila.
Sayyid
al-Alila. Out of the 10 days, say the third night, Sayyid al-Alila has always been a special night for me. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's just something has to happen that night.
Yeah.
Starting with one of the first qasaid, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
First qasaid I recited says وينك أريدك انطيني إيدك أنت أبوي الغالي ارجع أرحم حالي. Then the year after. And then one of the qasaid.
Well, if we can have a short explanation of the words you just said, because we have many of our viewers.
No problem. Yeah.
They are either English speakers or from Pakistan or from other parts of the world. These words you just mentioned are very beautiful words, are very painful words.
Yeah.
Where
are you? I need you. انطيني ايدك. Give me your hand, right?
Give me your hand.
You are my beloved father. Come back.
أبويا الغالي.
ارجع ارحم حالي.
ارجع ارحم حالي.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me, oh Father. Allah.
That's one of the nights. I remember that night specifically.
This is in a couple of years ago, or your first ever qasaid?
This is back in Dearborn. This specific qasida is in 2019.
Oh, okay. So it's
1443, I think, right? No, 40. No. 14.
We're
41
right now.
41.
Yeah. That night it felt just like a ashir.
Wow.
Wallahi al-azim. The words, the qasida, alhamdulillah, the lahan I got blessed with.
Do not be amazed. The same way we mourn Abi Abdullah al-Hussein on the 10th night, Laylat al-Ashir, which is the most difficult, the most painful night. Abi Abdullah al-Hussein is leaving behind a part of his, the same way Fatima al-Zahra was muhjatu qalb al-Nabi. Then don't hesitate to understand that the night of Ali, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is leaving behind a piece of his heart. Yani you're mourning the heart of Hussein alayhi salam. So it should be a painful night.
Well, could we get just the mustahil
of that?
Yeah, just if you can.
Ya Allah.
Ya Alhamdulillah.
وينك أريدك انطيني ايدك انت ابويا الغالي ارجع ارحم حالي
Sayyidina, I go back to you just in terms of the situation of the orphans and what can we do to maybe help, maybe partner with NGOs, speak to different NGOs. How does it work? What can we do in terms of our responsibility? Because we know that obviously Imam Ali alayhi salam has given massive importance to the orphans, right?
Yeah. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi alayhi, one of the titles that he has is Abu al-Aytami wal-Aram.
Yeah.
The father of the orphans. And earlier on today, in the other show we had, me and you, we did mention the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You can't speak about an orphan without mentioning the name of Ali ibn Abi Talib. One of the things that we can do, because we are not emotionless, we are not one of the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that doesn't have a heart, doesn't have senses, doesn't have intellect. We can see, we can observe. The thing that we see in front of us happening to the orphans could one day happen to our own children. من لم يهتم لأمور المسلمين فليس منهم كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. This is the statements spoken by Rasulullah. Every single one of you will be held responsible. So what is that responsibility? Maybe the brothers and sisters at home would want to know, okay, Sayyid, you speak about orphans. Tell me, I want to do something. I live in the West. Maybe I haven't gone to Karbala, maybe I haven't gone to Najaf, maybe I haven't gone to some of the cities that you talk about that have orphans. I haven't seen, you have seen. Tell me, what can I do? I will tell you, my dear brothers and sisters. You want to help? First of all, we have to come to recognize the level and the intensity of the problem. And then get in touch with those organizations. There are many NGO organizations that serve in Iraq, who also have members, who have organizations, who have committees outside Iraq who are advocating, raising awareness. So one of the things is that I have to be aware of the situation of an orphan, so whether it's in Iraq, whether it's in Afghanistan, whether it's Shia of al-Bayt, whether it's Pakistan, where every single day or every single week we are hearing that the Shia of al-Bayt alayhim as-salam in Afghanistan or in Pakistan or in other parts of the world are being killed because they are Shia. But we bring the name of Iraq as an example, our dear brothers and sisters. So raise awareness. When you raise awareness, people become aware, and through that awareness they are able to help. We need help financially. We need help to create this sense of stability for these orphans. Because these orphans, if they don't have someone taking care of them, if they don't have someone providing for them, they will have to think of going to extra lengths, and when they go to extra lengths, they might fall in traps. There might be individuals who will want to take advantage of these youngsters. So we need to provide for them. When we provide for them, I don't mean that we only pay for their food or their water or their shelter. I mean to provide for them, to provide a safe haven for them to go and receive the education, so when they grow up, they can be an asset to the community and society. So you, brother and sister, wherever you are, when you hear about an organization who is working for orphans or has an orphanage in any part of the world, go. Make the first step. Take the first step towards them. Ask them, what is your work and how can I help and support?
Yeah.
Because there are many narrations, many statements by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, أَنَا وَكَافِلُ الْيَتِيمِ كَهَاتَيْنِ. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, anyone that sponsors an orphan will be with me, and he gestures with his two fingers, كَهَاتَيْنِ فِي الْجَنَّةِ, he will be with me, he will be alongside me, he will reside in the same location as Rasulullah.
Absolutely.
So we need to start fostering, we need to start sponsoring, we need to start being the father figure that these orphans don't have. We need to be the caring mother for those orphans that have lost their mothers and their relatives. So this is the simplest thing that we can do. And alhamdulillah, we have the social media and the internet and the search engines. Just search up orphans, wherever, which country, which city you are interested in, and you will get a whole load of these organizations that will be able to provide help and support.
Ahsantum Sayyidina. On that note, we're going to take a very, very small break, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers at home, because when we return, we'll be talking and discussing the masa'ib of Fatima al-Alila. So inshallah, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
In the tragic month of Muharram, one of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Husseiniyyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those in need. Countless Husseiniyyat Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Hussainis and the Zainabis of today.
Welcome back, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV 3. We are coming to you live from London, and you are watching Verses of Love. There is a Verses of Love mini Husseini or young Husseini edition that is earlier today, where alhamdulillah we are joined by 3 of the Shia Voice stars, the young stars, and alhamdulillah today we are honored to be joined by, first and foremost, Sayyid Ali al-Nawab, who is my special guest every single day, or every other day, Verses of Love. But we are joined by Mullah Ali Zuhairi as well, coming all the way from Dearborn. Of course, Mullah Ali, I see you now in a different context, because every single time I did see you, it was more of a competition. But alhamdulillah, I get to speak to you now, more of as a friend, as a brother, and we gained very valuable lessons in terms of Dearborn and what the situation is in Dearborn. But Sayyid Ali did speak about at length the situation of orphans, and we talked about what we can do and what responsibilities we have towards these orphans, and how we can, inshallah, contribute, whether it's financially or word of mouth, or being able to foster, or being able to look after an orphan in order to help those that are less fortunate than us. But the reason why we're talking about orphans is because Imam Hussein alayhi salam left a young child in Medina. He took his women and his children. So I'm not going to get into the kind of the historical details, Sayyid. Now I'd love to ask you, what was the situation for Imam Hussein alayhi salam when leaving Medina?
Ya Allah. We, before break, we talked about how one of the challenges that faces the orphans today is the fact that there is no safety and security. That very challenge was the challenge that Abi Abdullah al-Hussein was facing in his own homeland, in his own hometown. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, brothers and sisters, he is a Medinite. He was born in Medina. It's awfully heartbreaking when someone is born in a city and eventually he reaches a stage that he cannot continue living in his own hometown because of the lack of safety and security. Abi Abdullah al-Hussein reached a stage that it was unsafe for him to remain in the city of Medina. So that's why it was time for Abi Abdullah al-Hussein to start making his way towards his final destination.
Right.
So hence, when someone is planning to travel, and this time Abi Abdullah al-Hussein salamullahi alayhi, when he was moving from Medina, he couldn't leave his family behind because the enemies, Bani Umayyah, would have taken his family as hostages. The fact that they took his family, his sisters, his daughters as captives and hostages from Karbala, they would have done the same thing in Medina. And it's not the first time, Mullah Ali Zuhairi, that this has happened in the city of Medina. Abi Abdullah al-Hussein would only need to remember what they done to his mother Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayha. This lady, this honorable figure, this honorable youngster that we are commemorating tonight by the name of Fatima, and everyone knows how much dear that name is to the heart of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein salamullahi alayhi. It's enough for you to just say Fatima, and you would see Abi Abdullah al-Hussein sit down and remember. One of the things that al-Banin, I'm sorry I'm reading this musibah, but one of the things that al-Banin on the first day of her marriage came and said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Ali, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I cannot bear to see the fact that young Hassan, young Hussein, Zainab, Kulthum, every time you tend to call me Fatima, they start crying. Fatima, al-Banin, what do you want? Tell me. He told her, Ya Ali, do not call me Fatima anymore. So Fatima is very dear to the hearts of Hussein and Hassan. Hence, he called his daughter Fatima. this Fatima, this youngster, brothers and sisters, I want to take you towards Medina. Dimmer the lights if you can at home. Create this environment. I want to take you tonight to the house of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, salamullahi alayhi. Let's go to Medina, huh? I am sorry if you have a youngster sitting at home next to you, especially if her name is Fatima. Let her remember what happened to Fatima al-Alila. Fatima al-Alila says, I saw that my auntie Zainab is sitting gathered around my sisters Ruqayya, Fatima al-Kubra, Layla, Rabab, Ramle. They're all sitting, they're talking between themselves, but I don't understand, I can't hear what they're talking. So I stood up, I started making my way. I wanted to participate, I want to hear. It's my auntie Zainab talking. But I realized that every time I draw closer to them, they go quiet. One time, two times, three times, Fatima al-Alila starts feeling that there is something wrong. What made it worse is that she noticed that her sisters, the women of the family, are all going to their rooms, to their quarters. They are preparing their belongings as if they are going away. Lady Zainab is saying to Ruqayya, Ruqayya, do not forget to take your prayer mat, do not to take your hijab, do not forget to take your hijab, do not forget to take your veil, take an extra veil. But I was waiting for my auntie Zainab to come and tell me, Fatima, you as well go and prepare yourself. Lady Zainab says, every time I see Alila in front of me, I look at her, she looks at me, but I can't say anything. Brothers and sisters, this Alila waits. She says, okay, maybe my auntie Zainab is busy. Let me go to my quarters. And I start preparing my things. It is narrated, brothers and sisters, that Fatima al-Alila comes to her corner of the room. She starts speaking to herself. She starts packing her belongings. She says, shall I pack my stuff? But my auntie Zainab hasn't said anything. So she unpacks and she puts it to the side again. Again, she says, no, but they're going to leave. I want to go with them. So she starts packing again. But she says, no, but my uncle Abbas didn't say anything to me. So she starts unpacking. Until Lady Zainab comes to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, says, Akhwiya Abu Ali, brother, this daughter of yours, Fatima, is breaking my heart. It's as if I think she has sensed that she is not going to be accompanying us in this travel. Until everyone was ready. Everyone started coming, taking their positions on top of their rides, on top of their camels. It is Fatima al-Alila salamullahi alayha, as if she's saying,
ويلي 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 بعد ساعة ويشيلون بضعنهم بعد ساعة يشيلون بضعنهم ويجن غريبة ومالي منهم جنهم كلهم يشيلون جنهم وبعيني يظل موحش نزلهم وظل انشد الرايح والجاي عنهم. Lady Fatima al-Alila is saying, speaking to herself, and she's saying that I think they are going to leave me behind. It is in these moments that Abi Abdullah comes, takes Fatima al-Alila. Fatima says, oh father, Shall I go and prepare my things? Am I going to accompany you? Abi Abdullah says, Fatima, my lovely daughter Fatima, you are ill, and this safar, this trip is not good for your health. I am going to leave you behind. You are going to stay, some narrations say with Salama, the other narrations say with al-Banin. You are going to stay, inshallah. When you become better, I will send to you your uncle Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas or your brother Ali al-Akbar, and they will bring you. You will accompany them. Here, Fatima couldn't say anything. She loved her father. She respected the words of her father. It's as if she says, Ya boya مودع الله وراشد النية بس خلي على بالك شنو بس خلي على بالك عندك بنية عليلة وتنتظر منك بعد جاية. Days went, Abi Abdullah left, they reached Karbala on the 10th of Ashura. أجرك الله يا صاحب الزمان. When everyone went to the battlefield, Abi Abdullah stood there by himself. When he started saying, ألا من ناصر ينصرنا, it is then that the narrations narrate, a messenger came towards Abi Abdullah carrying a letter from Fatima al-Alila. He told him, where are you from? He said, I am from Medina. There was a young girl. She said, where are you going? I told her I am going towards Iraq. She wrote a letter and she gave this letter to me. And she said, this is for my father, Abi Abdullah. On the afternoon of Ashura, Abi Abdullah receives a letter. As soon as he opens the letter, he sees the handwriting of Alila. He starts crying. Lady Zainab sees Imam Hussein in his final moments crying. She comes to him. She says to him, Akhi Aba Abdullah, why do I see you crying? Abi Abdullah is as if he's saying to her, this is a letter from Fatima al-Alila. What is she saying, oh brother? I will say these lines and inshallah we will benefit from the presence of my beloved dear brother Mullah Ali. Fatima is saying, Boya عادة الأهل إن كان بسفر يبطون لا مكتوب لا طارش يودون. Oh, father, it's been a long time. I am still waiting. She used to come out every day from the morning until night, looking towards Iraq, waiting for Ali al-Akbar or Abu al-Fadl. وأنا على باب وأنا على الباب أبرل يعودون ورشعة الباب بماي العيون وقول اليوم لا باكر يعودون بالله شلون لا ما عادوا شلون.
لطيف ماتن ماتن ما ماتا أتاني لو أأيس بعد ماتا ما أنتظر ماتا يا طارش يا طارش قل أبويا عضاي ماتا أبويا ماتا حسين ماتين نحل عظمي وشحيح الشوف بيه عفتني وجمرة فراقك تصل بقلبي ولا طوارشكم تصل لحسين كأنما تركتني للمرض والبكاء بتا حسين بنيتك من جلوس امست تصلي 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 يا ابويا مروتك لحي علي محمل خالي شفتك قبالي قابلته وسولفنا هوايه وريتك باكر بيا السافر وعباسي يغطيك برايه يا هودة جمنياتي كون أرحل وي خواتي كون أرحل شي عيدكم سفر باكر أنا ليلي لحظة ما نمت بالظلمة طلعت وحدي ومحمل وحد شفته أنا أبكي وسولفت وياه وقيت للأمنية انت وين الله وأبويا حسين ياخذني ويا قافلته ها يا محمل ما أتحمل باكر لو وحدي يعيفوني مر مصابي وكل أحبابي شوفتهم تشتاقي عيوني نوح يصبح أوضح صفاتي كون أرحل وي خواتي كون أرحل وي خواتي
كون أرحل وي خواتي
المحمل يحكي بالسكتة أنا عذريني يا علوية خيامكم من يحرقوها يندار الجمر بي حسينك يهوى بجسمه جروح ألفي وتسعمية وكل حرمة تشوف فيها باكر تمشي مسبية حتى اللي يرضع لا ما يرجع نبلة تصيبه وتقطع نحره حسين الغالي طيحي قبالي وعشر خيولي تدوسي بصدره يصيح لحد يضرب بناتي كون ارحل
أحسنتم. طيب
من الشاعر who is the poet
شاعرها كرار حسين الكربلائي.
ما شاء الله. طيب الله أنفاسك
وأسمعك يا حبيبي.
أحسنتم. Mullah Ali Zuhair is always fantastic to hear you live, and now hear you here as well. Sayyid, of course, once again, thank you so much for your valuable time.
May Allah bless you both, inshallah.
Ahsantum jami'an. And to the dear viewers at home, just I guess a summary in the sense that, yes, we do have a responsibility. Of course, we do cry and lament for what happened on the day of Ashura. We cry and lament and we connect to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But we do have a responsibility, because at the end of the day, there are a couple of ways that we connect to Imam Hussein, especially when he says, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, or when he says, Hal min nasirin yansurana, is there anyone out there to help us? It's not just a plea for us to say, yes, I am here. And through answering the call of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, in the sense that, yes, we have obligation as Shia Muslims, we have obligation to the Prophet, to Imam Ali alayhi salam, in order to look after the orphans. So even if you are living in the West, far away from those orphans in Iraq or neighboring countries, we do have a responsibility to either spread the message or contribute financially to be able to help these orphans, because there are orphans that we connect with, especially when it comes to Ashura, and we've commemorated Fatima al-Alila, who was left an orphan in Medina, and you heard how sorrowful and how sad her story is, and especially parts where the Sayyid mentioned where the confusion in her mind, Fatima al-Alila, the confusion that goes through her head, that no one is being clear with her, that they had to leave her. That for me was quite heartbreaking to hear the story of Fatima.
Mullah Ali, if I can just add one other thing. I'm sure definitely that the viewers at home, the brothers and sisters watching us, they must have a haja. They must have a want, they must have a need, they must have someone who is in need, they must have someone who is ill. This honorable lady, there are individuals in the family of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, they have been granted the title of the Gate of Hajat, Babul Hawaj. Allahu Akbar, this lady Fatima al-Alila, for the extent of pain and sorrow that she had to go through. Imam al-Hussein, he was around her, and Imam al-Hussein felt this sense of this unsafe environment. So what happens if Imam al-Hussein had gone and she was left all alone in the darkness of the house? So imagine the sorrow and the pain. What I'm trying to get at is that tonight, if your heart was broken and you shed a tear as a result of the recitations and the poetry, and you felt this connection, knock on the door of Fatima al-Alila. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the pain and sorrow of Fatima al-Alila, everyone that hears my voice and has a hajj tonight, as we commemorate Fatima al-Alila, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say to him, to Allah, oh Allah, I beseech you with the name and the dhikr of Fatima al-Alila, answer my calls and answer my prayers.
Ahsantum Sayyidina, Ahsantum Mullah Ali, thank you so much for your time, both of you, Sayyidina and Mullah Ali. And on that note, inshallah, we will see you in the next episodes of Verses of Love, 11:30 p.m. UK time, live from London. Inshallah, we'll see you soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ahsantum.
Ahsantum Sayyid.
Ahsantum Mullah. Tayyib Allah.
starts with morning. Muharram is our beginning. The season's tears are flowing. Our Imam, we are condoling. Our new year starts with morning. Muharram is our beginning. The season's tears are flowing. Our Imam, we are condoling. Karbala, what precious blood was spilled there. Ashura, Al-Hussein was murdered here. Ashura, Al-Hussein was murdered here. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. My master, have you seen what exchange there was between Abbas, Zainab and Hussein? If only present you had been. My master, have you but seen what exchange there was?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعداءهم. In the name of God, the compassionate and the merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, respected viewers, lovers of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, welcome to Karbala. Welcome to land of Hussein. Just once again, we are here in Karbala serving you. Serving all the mu'mineen and mu'minat who would like to be here in Karbala in this very moment. Those who are missing Karbala, those who feel that their hearts are not only in their chests, those who feel their hearts to be rotating around the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Here we are. We're in Karbala, serving you and making it possible for every single one of you to feel him or herself here in Karbala. Alhamdulillah, alladhi ja'alana min al-mutamassikin biwilayat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And Alhamdulillah that we have such a great master like Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who never forgets his servants. For this night, I'm not alone. I am with a humble, respected brother, Mr. Brother Abu Talib, who is going to help me making it more hearty for you being here in Karbala. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Abu Talib.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mustafa. How are you? You're well, inshallah?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Condolences for these days, for the Ayyam al-Shahada of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Sure, thank you very much for having me as a guest today. And maybe for the coming nights, I would like to send my condolences to Sahib al-Asr wal Zaman on these auspicious nights. The nights of grief, the nights of sorrow, the nights of Muharram that we look forward to each and every year. We can't wait for the month to come upon us and for us to see its moon, the moon that filled our hearts, and it pulls us and attracts us towards his service. The service of Imam Hussein is not just reciting for Imam Hussein. It's not just distributing for Imam Hussein. It's not just being present in the ma'atim of Imam Hussein, but it is weeping for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And we learn from Khayl al-Khalq. We learn from the best of prophets, the best of creations, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, the one who was the first to cry for Sayyid al-Shuhada, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Thank you so much, brother. And that is why we are alive. Yep. I'm not exaggerating. I'm saying the truth. And that is the only truth which exists. If we are here, if we are alive, if we have been created, that's only because of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. So here, I would like to invite every one of you to join us for this live ziyarah show. So send your hearts to Karbala along with the ziyarah and salam that we are going to have and perform right here in this studio on your behalf. I'm going to stand on my feet and face the holy sharaf of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and along with my brother Abu Talib, recite a ziyarah and salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Ya Allah. Please, brother.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أزور سيدي ومولاي، معتمدي ورجاي، في آخرتي ودنياي، مولاي ومولى الثقلين ونور العينين، أبي عبد الله الحسين، أصالة مني ونيابة عن والدي وعن إخواني وأصدقائي وأمواتي وكل من خصني بالدعاء والزيارة. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا، ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليك يا مولاي يا قمر بني هاشم. السلام عليك يا باب الحوائج إلى الله. السلام عليك يا أخ الحسين. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، يا ابن فاطمة أم البنين. السلام عليك يا كفيل زينب. السلام عليك يا ساقي العطاشا. السلام عليك يا قطيع الكفين، يا حامل لواء الحسين، أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. Here starts our journey to Karbala, inviting all of you to be with us, and for sure, sending your salams and salutations to Mawla Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, having your voice echoed into the atmosphere of Karbala, and feeling yourself here. So if you're missing Karbala, if you wish to be here, but you aren't able to be physically in Karbala, don't worry. The number which is shown below the screen is ready to receive your calls. And my brother Abu Talib and I, we are ready to serve you. We are ready to make it possible for you to call and feel yourself here in Karbala.
The second night of Muharram, the second day of Muharram, the third night of Muharram, Imam al-Hussein's caravan reached Karbala. And Imam al-Hussein says to this land, O land of sorrow and calamities, in this land our blood will be shed. It is your opportunity now to pick up your phone and call us directly. Speak to your Mawla. Speak to your Master. Speak to the one that you truly love. The one that gives you love. The one that always stands to your side in difficulties. And the one that you can always rely on.
Reminding the second day and the eve of the third day of Muharram, I just remembered a historical event when Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam sent a messenger to Zuhair ibn Qayn, the one whose tent was near the camp of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. He didn't want to join the camp unless Imam Hussein alayhi salam sent the messenger and invited him to his camp. Zuhair was sitting with his mother and wife when the messenger of Imam Hussein alayhi salam came to him, inviting him on behalf of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam to join Imam Hussein. Zuhair started thinking, and he was in doubt what to do when his wife shouted on him and said, "How dare you think and be in doubt when the grandson of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is inviting you to join him and help him. Go and help him. You don't need to think about it." Here, Zuhair stood up and rushed towards the camp of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, visiting this great infallible Imam. And after a few minutes, when he returned to his tent, he said to his wife, "I'm going to be with Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and I'm going to let you go with your family because I don't want you to be as a captive and feel any hard time being with me. You're free to go, and I'm gonna be with Imam Hussein alayhi salam." And here, the word, the sentence, the phrase which says, "Inna al-Hussein misbahul huda wa safinatul najah," comes in action when Zuhair ibn Qayn enters the ark of salvation of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and changes his life and history forever.
Zuhair, what a beautiful stance in Karbala.
Ya Hussein.
Zuhair, he was invited by Imam al-Hussein. And Imam Hussein invites you all to his land. And now we also invite you to perform a live ziyarah in the land of sacrifice and sorrow. We've spoken about Zuhair and his wife, but I would like to leave the echo of these lines of poetry on behalf of the mother of Zuhair. Before the battle's fateful toll, a poignant scene attached in the soul. His mother's farewell, a moment to hold. Her love and wisdom, a treasure untold. With tears in her eyes, she embraced her son, her heart heavy, yet her faith unwon. Go dear Zuhair, go dear Zuhair, she softly implored, to stand for truth with courage endured. She knew the cost, the pain that lay in the path of justice. He would stay, her heart torn between love and fear. As Zuhair rode forth to his fate near, with a heavy heart, to a mother's love, so tender and true. In her prayers, her strength he'd find, her blessings like her armor, his soul entwined. We thank our mothers, and I urge for the ones that have lost their mothers to call and perform a ziyarah on behalf of them. How many of our friends, family members have lost their mothers from last Muharram till now? And our mothers, they are Husseini. They loved Abu Abdullah. Bring joy to their graves. Perform a ziyarah on behalf of them. Because I am sure they brought you up towards the love of Imam al-Hussein. And they answered the call of Imam al-Hussein when he said, هل من ناصر ينصرنا? They answered his call.
Ya Hussein, Ya Abu Abdullah. Now, being here in Karbala and presenting this moment and this show to you, we are doing our services. We are performing our services. And I'm sure that those who are watching this live ziyarah show right now have already sent their hearts to Karbala. يا حسين ابن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا. O Abu Abdullah, we are looking at your holy shrine and we are seeking for your intercession. اشفع لنا عند الله. And Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is so kind. If we miss these nights and days, we can't guarantee that they repeat again, and we have the opportunity to be Za'ar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So if you're watching this live ziyarah show right now, make the best advantage of this moment and send your voice to Karbala. Let's have a short video and break so you can easily connect your heart to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam.
In the tragic month of Muharram, one of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Husseyniyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those in need. Countless Husseyniyat Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows, and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water, or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Husseinis and the Zainabis of today.
Brother Abu Talib, you said that serving Imam Hussein alayhi salam is not only performing ziyarah. You just mentioned several things, just like distributing food, and even I think that even when you drink water, when you remember Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam and you curse the enemies of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, this is a kind of serving. But about the clip, the short video that we just saw right now, what do you think about it? Is it a kind of serving, and what kind of serving is it?
As we said, the serving that we see there is giving and remembering the hunger that went on the orphans.
Yes.
You know, hunger on adults is bearable. When you have a cut finger or a toothache, you can cope with it, you know it will last for multiple hours. And the roughness of life teaches you that you'll go through difficulties.
Sure.
But what is miraculous is that we feed the pilgrims of Imam al-Hussein, the ones that attend his shrine, his majalis, his ma'atim. It is an honor for us to feed them. But nobody was honored to feed the aitam of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Allahu Akbar.
Nobody was honored to quench their thirst. Let me remind you what happened in this land behind me when the orphans ran from one tent to another, running from one burning tent to another, burning feet, bruised hands, torn clothing. There was no one there for them to cure their pain, to quench their thirst, or to give them food. Ya Abu Abdullah, the closer we get to your 10th night, the more emotions we have, and the more the flame in our heart gets bigger and bigger.
Allah, you know, let alone giving food and water to the kids. There was no one to keep them safe from the enemies of Allah, enemies of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who were chasing those little kids and orphans by hitting them, by looting their jewelries and earrings. Allahu Akbar. There was only Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha who was trying to gather the kids who were running from the enemies here and there. Allahu Akbar. What happened to Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha? And these days, Bibi Zainab is getting prepared for the day of Ashura. You know, talking about Zuhair ibn Qayn, I also remembered another historical riwayah when Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha saw that at the eve of Ashura, Imam Hussein alayhi salam turned off the lights and turned them down and told to his companions that they are here for me. I'm gonna be martyred tomorrow, and those who stay with me also are going to be martyred. So if you want to live longer, you can go. So lots of Imam Hussein's companions left him. Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha saw this, and she was worried about her brother. Zuhair ibn Qayn and the other pure and true companions heard this, and they all gathered behind the tent of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha when Zuhair said, "Oh Bibi Zainab, if I fight in the day of Ashura and be killed and martyred, not once but 1,000 times, I will again protect you and stay with you." These words just cooled down the heart of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. Now, when we are performing this live ziyarah show, when we send our salams to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when you call and send salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, you are sympathy with Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha. Ya Hussein, Brother Abu Talib, do you have any poem for this great moment?
We spoke about the responsibility of Bibi Zainab Salamullahi alayha, and Bibi Zainab moved from one person to another. She was the female in Karbala, and prior to Karbala, she was a princess.
Yes.
And yet she is still a princess. However, after the night of Ashura, everything changed. She was responsible for the orphans. She was responsible for Imam Zain al-Abidin. She was responsible for the martyrs of Karbala. And she was responsible for herself. What do we learn from Bibi Zainab Salamullahi alayha? And the difficulties that we go through. Patience. Patience. And patience.
Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha is named and titled as Jabal al-Sabr, the mountain of patience. Because the hardships that she went through wasn't only Ashura, while for sure, as Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam said to Imam Hussein, La yawm ka yawmuka ya Aba Abdullah, there is no day like yours, O brother. But Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha witnessed the martyrdom of her grandfather, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him. She witnessed how the hypocrites rushed and attacked their house and crushed her mother's chest between the door and the wall. She witnessed how they took her father to the mosque to force him to pledge allegiance with Abu Bakr, where the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam never do that. She witnessed how her father was martyred, was hit by the sword of Ibn Muljam while he was saying his prayer, his morning prayer. She witnessed, delivers the parts of the liver of her brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba coming out because of the poison which Ju'dah gave him. She witnessed all these things. So that's why she has been titled as Jabal al-Sabr. My dear brothers and sisters, this is your great, unique, and perfect time to send your salams to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. I know that for sure right now you are shedding tears out of your eyes because of what you're hearing. Muharram, by its own, is the month of grief and sorrow. It by its own makes one's heart to explode of pain and sympathy for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. So, if you want to make yourself even closer to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and if you want to obey the order of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, be za'ir of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Because it is not only human beings performing ziyarah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in these days, but also angels are descending from the heaven all the way to the earth to be za'ir of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. This is Karbala, and this is Bain al-Haramain. But this is not the whole picture of Karbala. This is the reason why we're here, that you're watching right now the Holy Shan of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam and Bain al-Haramain. But if I want to talk to you about the atmosphere of Karbala, you need to be here and walk in the streets and the alleys of Karbala near the Holy Shan of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Brother Abu Talib, you have been here and you have witnessed the atmosphere of Karbala, the mawaqib, and how Za'irin come to Karbala and how they reach the Holy Shan of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. How can you describe this atmosphere so make it more tangible for Za'irin and viewers of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam?
You know, sometimes there is something, when you close your eyes, you can imagine.
Sure.
It's always been described, when you come to Karbala, you will see the elderly helping, the young distributing, people rushing to serve. And you couldn't imagine it. And I couldn't imagine it up until I was present. And you see that everybody loves Imam al-Hussein.
Indeed.
And the love that we have towards Imam al-Hussein is not a grain of the love that Abu al-Fadl had towards Imam al-Hussein. Nor Sayyidah Zainab, nor the Ansar of Imam al-Hussein. In the small alleyways, the ones distributing cups of water, the less fortunate distributing tissue, the more fortunate cooking. And it shows that Imam al-Hussein is not for me, nor for you, nor for the wealthy, nor for the ones only living in Iraq. Imam al-Hussein is for everyone. And his stance in Karbala was for everyone. As Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his grandfather in Mecca, brought Islam to us. He brought it from Mecca to Medina, and from Medina to Mecca. And Imam al-Hussein saved Islam in Karbala. Because if not of Imam al-Hussein, then we would not have the true Islam that we follow. And if not the stance of Zainab, then our mothers and sisters' hijabs will not be the ones that we see today. They are two of the greatest characters of Karbala.
Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Ibn Rasulillah. We're sending our salams once again to Karbala on your behalf. There are lots of viewers who have asked me in the previous live ziyarah shows that please you go ahead and perform the ziyarah and we will follow you. And they were repeating the words word by word after I was just reciting the ziyarah. So once again I would like to recite a ziyarah word by word. And if you're watching this live ziyarah show, you can follow and repeat these words. And بزائر أبا عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتك. السلام على الحسين. وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. You know, why as soon as Muharram starts, we Shia Muslims feel sad for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Unintentionally, the atmosphere, no matter where you are, you feel kind of, pain and sorrow in your heart. And you know why is that? According to the ahadith and riwayas, by the beginning of the month of Muharram, the angels take the shirt of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, which is full of blood of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and they hang it in the sky. So for that bloody shirt, the whole world goes in grief for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. This is Hussein. This is the fifth of Ahlul Kisa, and this is the one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the heaven out of his light. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is the one who Imam of our time, Sahib al-Zaman, Ajjalallah ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif, starts his reappearance and his movement by his name when he leans to the wall of Kaaba and says, "Ala ya ahl al-alam, anna jaddi al-Husayn qataluhu atshana." Oh, people of the whole world, my grandfather is the one who they killed him and martyred him while he was thirsty. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. My dear brothers and sisters, the number that you see below the screen is the number through which you can call and send your voice to Karbala. That's an internet call and a WhatsApp call. So you only need to make an intention, niyyah, and pick up the phone and dial the number. We are here to serve you, inshallah. We are here to make it possible for every one of you to connect his or her heart to the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and feel him or herself Za'ar of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. This is our duty and we are proud by doing it. What do you think, brother Abu Talib?
Speaking of being proud, while in one of the mawakib in Shar al-Qibla, opposite the Hawza, the mawkib name Shabab Hayatul Abbas or Baytul Abbas.
MashaAllah.
And it is true, Baytul Abbas.
How?
The house of Abu Fadl alayhi salam.
How?
I tell you how.
Sure.
All the servants there are youth.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
And it reminds you of the youth that were present in Karbala. The youth that I was alongside with 16, 18, 11, 7 years of age. They offer their services. But I also keep in mind that not in the hay'ah of Bayt al-Abbas, but in Bayt al-Abbas itself, the tent.
Yeah.
What were the youth offering? At their young age, they were supporting and standing alongside their father Abu al-Fadl or their uncle Abu al-Fadl. I believe we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Abu Talib.
MashaAllah. Sister, may I ask what your name is and where you're calling from?
I'm Hannah from the UK.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Sister Hannah.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mustafa.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Hannah. MashaAllah. Thank you so much for being Za'ar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and calling once again the live Ziyarah show. MashaAllah. So if you're ready and your heart is missing Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, you can send your voice to Karbala and be Za'ar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, sister, please.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khair. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa al-Mawm wa jifrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah wa lalwahi lati halat bifinaik. عليكم مني جميع سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولجأ الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين ولا علي بن الحسين ولا أولاد الحسين ولا أصحاب الحسين ولا أخيك الحسين ولا أختك الحسين ولا أم البنين ولا تسد المعصومين من ذريتك الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا رب تصالح مدير الله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين والحسن الحسين. السلام عليك يا أبو الفضل عباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوسيين. السلام عليك يا باب الهوائج يا سكاي سكينة. السلام عليكم يا سكالة داشا يا كاشف الكرب من وجه الحسين عليه السلام. اكشف كرب بحق أهله يا كيك الحسين عليه السلام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليكم خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليكم يا إمام الإنس والجان. أجلنا فرجك وسهلنا مخرجك وسرورك. السلام عليكم أهل بيت النبي ومات الرسالة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وجه فرجهم وناداه.
Sister, thank you so much for allowing us to be alongside you in this ziyarah. Sister Hannah, I would like to ask you, I believe you are the mother of Muhammadiyah, correct?
Sorry?
Your daughter's name is?
Mahdiya.
Mahdiya. Sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Have you put Mahdiya to sleep?
Yes. She went to sleep immediately after the last ziyarat that we did with you.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. How lucky are you to be able to perform multiple ziyarat? And it's an honor for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for her to have the best of sleep, and may she see one of the imams in her sleep for her to feel in safe hands. Sister Hannah, I just want you to think about this. I want to put coal on your heart.
I'm sorry, brother, I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
I want you to listen to this. I want to put coal on your heart.
Please.
You put Muhammadiyah to sleep. Mahdiyah, sorry. You put Mahdiyah to sleep. But go to the land of Sham.
Allah.
I didn't say anything yet. I haven't started. I haven't said anything yet. Let me carry on. Go to the land of Sham. Imagine a dark corner where a child sits, but not any child. The daughter the daughter of the one and only Hussein alayhi salam. She's put her head between her knees.
Allah.
And her knees have been crushed into her stomach, her empty stomach. They were taken captives from Karbala to the land of Sham. No food and no water was given to them. She cries and cries and cries, and nobody puts her to sleep. Mahdiya is lucky enough to have a mother that's put her to sleep. You've put a pillow under her head. But where did Ruqayya sleep? In which kharaba? Did she have a pillow? Was she covered? Or did the breeze of winds hit her like the arrows and she was battered by the enemies? Cry, sister. Let it out. Cry to your Imam.
Brother Abu Talib, I often think of Bibi Ruqayya and how her clothes were stuck to her body due to the burning of the tents and the whipping, and how her skin had scabbed over the fibers of the remnants of her clothing. And I often think about how Imam Zainul Abidin buried this child. Digging the grave with his own hand. What must have passed through him above? And then seeing this daughter, this princess of Imam Hussein, being buried without a coffin, crying. And how Imam Zainul Abidin would lament at the fact that this child, despite being such a tender, aged child, refused to drink water and insisted on pouring the water over his chains to cool them down for him.
Sister Hannah, don't keep the tears. Cry out, because today I heard this narration. Amma Mustafa, listen to this. The narration says, this is why I say, let your tears flow down your cheeks. Do you know why? Because Zainab Salamullahi alayha, every time she cried for Imam al-Hussein, she was burnt and hit again and again and again. But we are allowed to cry for our master. So say to her, oh Zainab, you are on your own in the land of Sham. I cry on behalf of you in London. I cry on behalf of you in the Karbala. Every time she moaned or wept or made a noise, she was burnt, and the burn causes a pain over a pain. Cry, let it out. Weep for Hussein. Like the angels, they cry for Abu Abdullah. Sister, I am honored.
I needed this.
I am honored. We've spoken previously and you said that you are feeling a bit upset. But I promise, when we end this call, you would have felt much better because you cried for the truly loved one, Hussein. And who is more loved than Hussein?
Hussein, Hussein. Thank you, Hussein.
Sister Hannah, I thank you for your call. And may Allah reward.
May Allah bless you. May Allah bless Brother Mustafa and bless Imam Hussein TV with increased abundance to continue this vital message and assist us as Azadar Hussein
to
continue wherever we may be to commemorate Muharram in this way. Thank you. Thank you, brother. You don't know what you've done for me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Hannah, for your ziyarah. May Allah bless you, and inshallah soon we can have you here in Karbala with Mahdiya, inshallah. Labbaik ya Hussein, sister.
Labbaik ya Hussein. Labbaik ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. I don't know if we have another call, another za'ar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam ready to send. Yeah, we have another call. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, do you hear me?
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Brother, you're calling Karbala, and this is Welcome to Karbala Live Ziyarah Show. You are hearing and you're watching this live Ziyarah Show live right now. So if you are ready to send your salam and salutations to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, please go ahead and perform your Ziyarah. Brother, just turn down the TV and send your salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, please.
Wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Please just listen to me through the phone and turn down your TV so there would be no delay between our communication, inshallah. Brother, right now you're calling Karbala. Please go ahead and perform your ziyarah. Send your salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
Assalamu alaikum, ya Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum, ya Ibn Abir al-Bahri. Assalamu alaikum, ya Ibn Sayyidat Nisa'i al-Alamin. أشهد أنك قد الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله يا أبا عبد الله. MashaAllah, brother, thank you so much for your ziyarah. May Allah bless you, and inshallah soon you and your respected family be blessed to be here in Karbala alongside the other za'ireen of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. And as the time is so limited, I would like to thank you and say labbaik ya Hussein, and inshallah tomorrow night we will also be here available for you to call and perform ziyarah, inshallah. Labbaik ya Hussein, brother. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Ya Hussein. Brother Abu Talib, we don't have that much time, but I just want to mention one thing that I truly felt as you were talking about Bibi Ruqayyah and crying and Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha. I truly felt that why Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam told to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, La yawm ka yawmuka ya Aba Abdullah. That's true. You just mentioned crying, and we are here, we can easily cry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha, whenever she was making any sound, as you said, or she was crying or just saying anything, they were hitting her. They were bothering her. Allahu Akbar. And we cannot even, by crying, do the complete sympathy and perform complete sympathy with Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha. We are qasireen. We cannot do it exactly. You know, I don't know. I'm speechless. I really can't just put it in words. We cannot completely sympathy with Ahlul Bayt, because what we do is not even a grain in front of the whole sorrow and pain that Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'een saw and carried in the Ashura and in that situation. Brother, we don't have that much time. The show is getting to its end, so let's finish this live ziyarah show for this night, and inshallah tomorrow once again serve the mu'mineen and mu'minat, please.
I would like to thank each and every individual caller. Inshallah, the show Welcome to Karbala has fulfilled your grief towards Imam Hussein, and it had cured your pain and relieved you towards Imam Hussein. I would like to thank Uncle Mustafa, Brother Mustafa, for inviting me to the show. I would like to thank the technical team and everybody behind the scenes for preparing this. And the most generous, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us for this service. Fi amanillah, ma'as-salam.
لبيك يا حسين.
Over 1,300 years since the Battle of the Free, the
Imam Hussein, o Karbala ki pagar more go Fatima wa jarida ma bekas daro rezo kasai tamatan Hussein तुझा है मुझे दिल में फकत आही तुझी बस भी